Thanks to Ubisoft for providing me access to the game. The seasonal updates from the Crew Motorfest are always packed with new stuff, and Season 4 is no exception. We've got everything from new playlists, yes, plural, new PvE modes, new free drive things, a bunch of vehicles, and some customization stuff. Let's go! Alright, let's start this off with the new playlist, Lowrider versus Donk. This playlist features 12 events. 6 of those are Donk events and 6 of those are Lowrider events. In the beginning of the playlist, you choose a side and play through those 6 events for that side. Once you complete those, you're awarded with a car of the opposite style, and you can use that to complete the other 6 events. With this playlist comes 26 new challenges, 6 new feats, and 6 new photo quests. Within these playlists, you're going to be introduced to 2 modes. Each of these modes is obviously meant to highlight the car cultures surrounding the Donk and Lowrider communities. The first is called Car Dance. It's a rhythm-based Guitar Hero-like mode where you'll be tapping the input required with a specific timing. I personally didn't like this at first because I had the music turned off because of copyright reasons here on YouTube, and I was on the easiest difficulty. If you turn up the difficulty to level 5 and have the music on, it is actually much more enjoyable, even though it feels like it really doesn't belong in a racing game. Since this is such a big part of the lowrider culture, I'm not really sure how IBT was supposed to both highlight it and provide riveting gameplay. I know many of you will dislike that this mode exists, and that's fair, but I think it was a fun option in a not so serious arcade racing game. Anyways, the second mode is called Street Versus. Honestly, this is just a 1v1 race. However, there are a couple of differences. In these races, there are various barriers along the stretch of mostly straight roads that you have to race on, and you get up to 3 shots of NOS depending on how well you did at the beginning of the warm-up phase. Once you've used your NOS, that's it for the entire race. Now, the races are short, so you really don't need a lot of NOS outside of that, and like I said, they're mostly on highways. Now in the intro I mentioned 2 playlists, and that is because we will be getting a second playlist in August. This was confirmed by the car list that was posted yesterday. There's a playlist reward in the Rally Raid category, and it's the same month where we get the Mazda RX-7 Group B and a new Jeep as that playlist reward. So those 2 things together, we know we're getting another playlist, and it's likely to be an off-road playlist in August. Now, in addition to the new playlists and the new modes, we will also see 4 new main stage themes: American Custom, Resto Mod, Designer, and JDM. But that's not it. With this update, they are also introducing the main stage challenges. I really like this feature as it will allow players to gain XP for the 3 main stage timelines quicker and with greater variety of gameplay. Each week, we will have 3 challenges for each of those timelines that will reward both XP and bucks. And, as always, the main stage legacy playlist will also get an update. The 4 main stages that we played from the previous season will be available to play. Remember, these are themed summit events from those previous weeks, with the reward being the exclusive main stage car if you missed it from the last month. The newest update to this system, though, is that now there will be a leaderboard for those events. So start your engine, you sweats. Alright, moving on. You can also expect 18 weeks of new summit activities, and with that comes 4 exclusive summit cars. In July, we're going to be getting the Chevrolet Impala American Custom Edition. In August, it's the Ring Brothers Dodge Charger Husk Edition. In September, it's the Porsche Taycan Turbo S Thunder Edition. And then in October, we've got the KRC Japan Nissan 240SX S14. And speaking of cars, they've added more than 28 cars to the Motorfest catalog, some of which are returning from the Crew 2 and some brand new ones. I've got a full video breaking down all of the cars linked in the description if you're interested in knowing each one of those cars. I didn't want to put it in this video because it would make this thing super long. You can just watch the cars video if you're interested, or you can just catch this one to know that a lot of cars have been added. Alright, lastly, let's talk about a few small things that I noticed while playing in early access. Number 1, there's a new filter in the garage and the shop. It allows you to sort by gas or electric cars. This is just really convenient, and I found myself actually looking for an electric cars filter a lot during Season 3. We had a few electric car events in the summits, and you really can't sort anything by electric. Well, now you can as of Season 4. Number 2, this change I really hate, but I do see it as necessary to balance out the XP gains from the challenges. But basically, in the main stage, like I said earlier, you have challenges that reward you XP, but now you have to gain 200,000 XP per level on the legend track. It used to be 100,000 XP, it has now doubled. Not my favorite change. I really wish they would have left it alone. It would have meant easier leveling, but it is what it is. Aside from that, they've added new customization options. One is called dashboard figures and mirror hangers. They're categorized together, and basically that's things that you can hang from your rear view mirror, or you can stick them to the dash, and they have like bobbleheads and they move and they're reactive to the physics of the game. It's a neat idea, but they're so small inside the car that I just don't find myself really wanting to apply those, because I don't really drive in cockpit view. You can't really see them too well from outside the car. So neat idea, but maybe they needed to be like a lot bigger than they are. And the second customization category they added was the flex vanities. These are actually appearing in the rooftop category. On the rooftop, you have vanities that will actually move with the car. So there's like an eagle that flies around, or there's like the rabbits guy that sort of flops around, or like this turtle that I put on there that bounces around whenever you are hitting bumps or going in the dirt. I actually really like these vanities way more than the dashboard figures and mirror hangers. I think they're pretty cool. They just kind of get in the way of like being able to see what you're doing or where you're driving, but as far as having fun, I think it's a great idea. Next, there's a couple of new free drive, free roam mechanics that you can take advantage of. One with the donks and one with the lowriders. If you have an actual lowrider that you're driving around, you can press B a couple of times and either perform stationary hydraulics movement, or you can do the full-on lowrider dancing in free roam, which I thought was really cool, neat addition to the game. As far as the donks are concerned, because they're all about going fast, they got the big wheels, you can actually make these cars do wheelies just by accelerating and then pulling back on your left stick, and you'll see the car just pop an insane wheelie. You can continue it through second, sometimes third gear, and I'm sure if it has the right parts, you can maybe use NOS to make it even longer. Anyways, I thought that was a really cool, neat little addition to the game as well. Now, in addition to that, you can actually now see the custom show rewards. This was not available until the custom show was completely over, and you would go in and see what you won. Not only can you see the rewards ahead of time now, you can also see which car you entered straight away from the menu, and what rank you are, and how many votes you have, just by going to the custom show screen. You can get there the same way you would go to the custom show from the menu before. You hit menu, activities, go to custom show, and it brings you to the custom show screen. This is where you would view all of that stuff. Now, if you wanted to go enter a new car, you could, but this is the best way to do it. And finally, you can actually view the upcoming custom show rewards and themes. It's really nice to be able to see all that stuff. I feel like that's kind of how the custom show should have been structured in the first place, but yeah, it is what it is. It's in the game now, and I really appreciate it. Outside of that, I didn't see a whole lot more. The biggest additions to the game by far are the two playlists, the vast number of cars that are being added, and the two new modes, the car dance and street versus. Just adds a little bit of variety in gameplay. And that's not everything that will be here. That's just everything we know is there right now, and everything that I got a chance to preview in that early access build. I just hope that we have some other surprises. I'm really excited to see what the off-road playlist brings us in August. I want to see how well the exclusive summit cars do and everything else right before we get a new island. I'm very pumped on year 2. I want to see the map expansion, and I want to see what they bring with that next year. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. If you have any questions about anything, don't hesitate to send me a DM. I will catch you on the next one. Trigger out.